Welcome back to the channel. This is Vibes of Steel. I am Bythar Monteith, and today we're checking out the brand new album from Unearthly Rites, entitled Ecdysis. Ecdysis is the sort of scientific term for like shedding skin or molting, or it's the Latin to like put off or change or something like that. So with the sort of album artwork, it's very indicative of like industrialization. So I'm kind of meaning it to like strip away from environmental impacts or changing between sort of the old ways, the old new ways, and sort of moving into new things in the future, which is kind of cool. I like the idea of that. But yeah, this album came out last Friday on May 3rd. That'd be 2024 if you're watching this in the eons afterwards. But yeah, it's coming out through Prosthetic. It's a nice short album. It's 9 songs. It's 34 minutes. So I thought we'd check out this one as a nice little treat for it's going to go up on Tuesday. So on a nice Tuesday afternoon. So yeah, let's check out Unearthly Rites, Ecdysis. Okay. So let's just get into it. We'll pause if we need to as we go. But yeah, let's get into it. First one's going to be an intro track, which is always, you know, is what it is. It's very sort of like just lo-fi band stuff. It's like a crazy bass note. And then the tom's like really low. It does sort of give that like industrial sound kind of too, which is kind of cool. It very much sounds like the construction that's literally happening outside my window. That little like saw sound almost. But yeah, apparently Unearthly Rites are from Finland, I think. Yeah, Finland. Filthy and moldy, bone crushing and skin ripping. Dystopian death metal from the void of unspeakable evil. Kind of cool. I'll just let this one fade into the next track. So the next one's called Deep Drilling Earth's Crust. That's a very thick, loud bass. Ooh. Yes. I love me a little Chaos Morbid Angel solo. I can't get over that bass tone. It sounds great. Vocals sound cool. Wow, this is very... It's cool, it's very lo-fi. very low. Whatever that cymbal is, it almost sounds, I think this is the way, the speed in which it's hitting it, it's not letting it ring out. So it almost sounds like a sample. If you know what I mean. It's cool, it's very cavernous. Almost reminds me, in some ways, of like spectral voice. Has these really thick, rhythmic sort of pulses. So it ended too. Again, those rhythmic pulses are quite extreme. Cool. Yeah, like I said, the sort of the way the rhythm hits, it's all very sort of like bump 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 bump. Like it's very like in your face with the rhythms. And I think that's probably done through the bass line and the drummer sort of working in like synchronous, you know what I mean? Like in sync, essentially. Like synchronicity. Oh, please. But no, it's a cool little song. It's very very heavy. And like I said, I love the sort of, I love the wild solos in death metal. I think usually it sounds pretty good. You know, obviously there's a sort of, you can do melodic solos. Death does them very well. A lot of the technical death metal bands do them very well, but I think in this sort of cavernous circumstance, that sort of wild shit with the whammy bar and the almost notes that don't matter if they're notes or not. Like, I don't know. I think for some reason it just sort of creates that chaos in your ears, and I think it sounds really good. We're gonna move on to the next one, Master's Tools, but I gotta take a piss. Okay, so the next one is the Master's Tools. Sick. Okay, we're going more doomy. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know, that change up felt weird. I like this riff, I think, a little bit more than the previous one. But again, I can hear that bass. It's just this like thick sound of fuzz. Makes it very, very heavy. Getting that on the fucking bass drum. Actually, the vocals on the high end sort of remind me of Death a little bit, like old Leprosy Death or whatever. It has that like thing about it. I do love that. It's cool. It makes everything sort of come together, you know what I mean? So like those hits are very low and very aggressive. Yeah, the vocals are giving me a little bit of Leprosy feel in them. Or like spiritual healing, maybe. Cool. Yeah, again, I think they're doing a really good job of doing that low death metal thing. The sort of doomy riff in the beginning I thought was kind of okay, but I kind of felt like it's got that feel of something that I've heard before. I definitely liked the mid-pace sort of riffs that came after it a little bit more, I think, just because I think they hit that groove a little bit cooler in my opinion. At least on that song. I don't know what the rest of the album will hold as far as doom riffs go, but yeah, let's keep it going. Let's listen to Ecdysis. Ecdysis? Something like that. Pretty sure it's Ecdysis or Ecdysis or I don't know. Something. Again, that bass static just sounds so cool. It's a nice riff. I would love to know what tuning they're in. It's low as fuck. Yeah, this one's pretty nasty. Nice. This one almost sounds a little like 90s sludge, kind of. If you just tweaked it just slightly, it'd almost sound like High on Fire. Which isn't 90s, but whatever. You know what I mean. Which is cool in and of itself. Cool. Yeah, man, I like that one too. I like that sort of sludge into doom into a nice solo. I thought it was kind of, you know, maybe a little simple. Trying to listen for the actual like phrasing in the notes. The actual tone of it was really cool. So like trying to sort of parcel it out between the tone of what I'm hearing and sort of the notes that are played. Oh, I don't know if I have a good comparison that other people might know, but it almost sounds a little bit like a hedonist or a ceremonial bloodbath kind of, or you know, it has distinctions of sort of that sound, that cavernous death metal thing, as opposed to the old school kind of thing. But yeah, it's sounding good. The next one's called Capital Scenic Nightmare. So that's cool. Different vocalists, I think, on this part. Still good. Very raspy, very cool. The riff is cool too. It's kind of bolt throwery that has that same sort of mid pace. Yeah, this guy's going nuts in the whammy bar. I do appreciate too that they're mixing it up between the solos. I wonder if it's two different guitarists doing different solos. That could be the thing too. Cool little bass line run there. That's cool too. like the sort of doomy riffs with the wild sort of solo too. Okay, now he's kind of fitting back into a melody. That's cool. Cool. Like I said, I think it was a different vocalist, at least on part of the track. But that's cool too. I really liked the riffs in it. I think the riffs are cool. Could have been maybe even just an extra variation thrown in there at some point. I did sort of feel towards the end of the song they were losing a little bit of the impact of that riff. But, you know, like I said, it sounds really good. I like the, you know, crazy whammy bar solos they got going on. It sounded really good with the doomy kind of track too, or the doomy section. And even having the vocalist go over it, the way it sort of fed into the like whammy melody kind of thing, also sounded really good. Yeah, overall, I'm quite liking this record. It is missing a little bit of variation, but I think the overall tone of everything and the groove of the groovy riffs are really, really good. So I think they're doing a really nice job of this one. Next one's called New Venus. So we'll check that one out. It's also pretty short. Okay, I like the intro of this one. Again, kind of doing that kind of doomy sludge thing. Nice, good transition. Pretty primal sounding vocals right here too. It's really cool. Oh, I liked how they went back to that too. Kind of getting more rangy with the sort of flow of the vocals. Sort of felt like that. Trying to think of what song. Sort of like Blessed Are the Sick a little bit. Okay, getting a little atmospheric at the end. I wonder if this one sort of flows into the next one. Damn. There's like 2 simultaneous solos happening. I love that. Just fuck it. Pure chaos at the end. Why not? That's cool. Again, cool song. I think that one might be one of my favorites so far. Like, I just like the sort of the way that these riffs are sort of moving into this one a little bit. Maybe more so than some of the other ones, but no, this is just a cool, straightforward death metal song, rather. Yeah, I was quite impressed with that one too. Like I said, I'm really liking the way the vocals are sort of flowing through this one. It just has a little bit of that sort of primal, not quite, it's like maybe not quite in time. It sort of has this free flow kind of thing to it, particularly near the middle. But yeah, cool track. Let's move on to the next one. The next one's called Fuck Ecofascism. It's almost hard to say. It's almost like a tongue twister. Fuck Ecofascism. Anyway, let's check it out. Cool title. Let's go. It's very short, so it might be kind of punky. Again, has that like pulsing thing to it. I'm noticing they're doing that a lot though too, where it'll have that da 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 ba, and it sort of opens up. It sounds cool, but I feel like they've done it a couple times. Might need again a little bit of something to transition, maybe. Okay, somebody needs to talk to Cam Lee. Come on, man. It's cool, but like, come on, man. It's a lot of fucking whammy bar abuse. Very cool. Very sort of like, you know what I mean? It's like big footsteps. Dope. For a song that short, it didn't really go like how I was expecting it to. It still had those doomy riffs and that sort of slow stuff happening. Again, maybe too much of a good thing with the whammy bar kind of crazy solos. It does still, you know, it sounds really good, but, you know, we've heard it on almost every single song, except for maybe Ecdysis, and some of them more than once. So, you know, again, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. I'm not saying we're quite there yet, but we've got 2 songs to go. And if, let's say, the next one had 2, front and back, I mean, we might be entering that zone of too much of a good thing. Anyway, let's check out the next one. The next one is called Sacrifice Zones. So we fade into each other. It's kind of nice. Okay, I see. If you keep that, like, atmospheric thing happening with that sort of noise, like that, might be kind of cool. I don't mind this one, because it's kind of like a atmosphere thing. Yeah, this one's got a nice little groove to it. Not mad at it. Sounds good. Vocals cool. Cool. I liked that quick little switch. That was nice. I like this riff a lot too, actually. Yeah. Yeah, they're going with the 2 guitar solo again, which is fair enough. This one sounds like they're sort of playing together, which is kind of cool. Yeah, not mad about that. Okay, we're building. I like the white noise happening too, actually. So we are ending again on a crazy chaos solo, which is, it's okay, but you got to be careful of those. I will say at this point, I do like that it sounds very cohesive from top to bottom. It almost feels like one big long song, and so in that way, I can really appreciate the cohesiveness of it, right? Like there's a lot of like it feels like there's 3 paces and every single song sort of fits into the almost the exact same like tempo of each section. So like the slow sections are always sort of the same tempo, the middle sections are always sort of the same tempo, and then the fast ones are always kind of the same. And each song seems to have a little bit of everything. I worry that some people might interpret that as like every song sounds the same. They don't sound the same, but there's an interesting cohesion happening between each of the songs. And I'm surprised that it doesn't annoy me more. But no, it sounds pretty good. I'm liking this album. We are on to the last track. It is called Doomed. It is by far the longest song at 7 minutes and 13 seconds. So let's top this off with Doomed, which I can only assume will be a Doom song. And if it's anything faster than 80 BPM, I'll be very disappointed in the track title. But yeah, let's get into Doomed. It's a very nasty bass tone. It's their fastest song. I do love the Doom thing happening here. I even like those swells of feedback. It's nice. Definitely gives it that loud amp quality. Cool. We are doomed. Okay. Into sort of the intro track, or intro riff. A little revision, a little appraisal. Ooh. Panic chords. Nice little drum roll. I like his ride cymbal work there too, actually. It's a very crisp sounding ride. Okay, slow it back down into the Doom. Oh, different riff though, which is cool. Okay, it's a melody. Okay, I can... Everybody breathe. Yeah, it's almost bluesy to end that. Which I guess is also sort of a callback to the Doom thing, which is cool. Okay, I like this sort of reverb wash with the guitar. Nice. Okay. Just sort of the white noise of feedback. But keeping that bass sort of in the back, it's kind of nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the bass is still playing the riff, kind of. Bass might have got louder while everything else went down. Oof. Oh, I love that little spice of sort of it breaking up. Cool, man. So yeah, that was Unearthly Rites with Ecdysis. Anyway, as far as what I thought about it, cool record. I quite liked it. Like I said, I liked the cohesion of it, a surprisingly large amount. I like that it's short, just because the sort of lack of variety would be way more noticeable on a longer album. There is that lack of sort of variety, but like I said, the cohesiveness of the entire thing, I think, really plays into its strengths, one of its strengths. The riff writing work is pretty good. I would say it's pretty good as far as the riffs go. It's not going to be super memorable outside of a few instances as far as the riffs go. Again, I think it's sort of just about that atmosphere of the entirety rather than the heroics of the individual, right? There's definitely a lot of guitar solos. A lot of them are whammy bar, sort of abusive kind of solos. A lot of noise stuff, and I think that's cool. I think it really works with the lo-fi doom sludge kind of thing. I think it sounds really good in that context. And I like that they're using that crazy tone, whatever. I don't know if they're whammy barring basically everything. It almost sounds like it to me. But the tone of that, using that in melodies and inside solos and stuff like that without sort of just cranking the whammy bar and calling it a day, I think sounded actually really cool. The drums are solid. I like I said, I quite liked the direct pulse parts when those came up. There were only a few, like two, I think, where it was like really, it was almost like a metronome of just thudding. But I actually quite liked that. It gave it sort of that punk kind of vibes at some points. And yeah, with the actual sort of groovy riffs, I think it sounded really good. I really liked the tone of the bass. I think the bass was one of my favorite parts of the record. That particular moment in, oh, what song was it? One of these ones with the sort of descending bass line I thought was really, really cool. And the vocals overall, I thought were really good at holding the atmosphere while also sort of giving it melody, because you have these like almost higher vocals than the register of the guitar, right? So they almost added like a melody to it in some ways, which is interesting. And the overall sort of production I thought was really good. This is kind of exactly how I like my death metal to sound right now. If it's a new record coming out, this is kind of how I like my death metal to sound. It's low, it's lo-fi, it's not overly polished and overly technical and this and that. I think you just want to have that impending atmosphere, and that just sounds good. And it doesn't matter if it's fast or slow or mid-paced or whatever. I think just having that atmosphere is what I'm looking for in death metal right now. Just because there's a lot of bands that sort of sound the same. And it's not that those bands can't be good. Like I said before in another video, I do like 200 Stab Wounds and Witch Vomit, and there's a bunch of other ones. But I do think there are people just sort of playing off the old school thing and not really trying to get too creative or too looking for that uniqueness in their overall sound. And I mean, you could maybe criticize that there's sort of the cavernous low stuff as well, and that sort of is its own thing. But I don't know, I just think the nastiness of that atmosphere, I think, is really pleasant in some ways, ironically, to the metalhead brain. So yeah, I really liked the record. I'm not going to give it a number score. I'm undecided. This is one that I'll be picking up again, though, and listening to. It's just a cool atmosphere sludge record, really. And I think they did a really good job of tapping into that sludge thing. Sounded really good. I will leave it there. That was Unearthly Rites. That was Vibes of Steel. I will see you in the next one. Let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe for more, and we'll be back later in the week for some more metal stuff. All right. See you later. Deuce.